I went into this thinking it was just going to be another urban legend. I did not expect to get anything, let alone the shit that we did get.
I had went down there like the day before. No bad vibes. It was super pretty out there. It was in the middle of nowhere for sure, but like the road was super long, the trees were super pretty, it was like swampy on either side of you, and then you get to the bridge and it's like this, it's literally like this long. And so I was like, I think that we're gonna get there and nothing's gonna happen.
Well, that must have been really fucking nice, because that is not what happened when we got there at night.
It was completely fucking different. Like,
we pulled up and immediately vibes changed. It was like, I know in the video it seemed we were excited, you know, pulling out the candy bar and stuff and putting it out. But I like, as soon as you get to the bridge, it changed. And as soon as we got out of the car, it was like, I don't really want to be here. And I know part of that is we're females and it's dark and it's a really secluded area. I want to talk about something that is brought up, but we don't go into depth. We didn't even really go into depth with it until we were driving home. And I think I was describing something and Chloe starts describing something, and it's the same thing.
For like 2 seconds. It's like if you see something out of your peripheral, and you like go to look at it and it's not there, but I was looking at it dead on.
So what happened was, you see me lock onto something that's across, and what I'm doing is I'm watching this blob figure come across a sign and down the tree, and then it starts to go across the road, and that's where I stop looking at it and Chloe locks on. And then she starts talking about being afraid of the dark because she's seeing things.
Yeah,
it's there. Like, I saw it too.
Yeah, at the time I was like, I'm definitely seeing things.
Let's talk about that white figure in the bush where you see it, and part of it's like its head is coming out, and on the other side it looks like almost like its hand is coming from around the other side of the bush, and it comes back in.
I was looking back through the footage, and I had seen this like little reflective orb. I know a lot of people say they don't believe in orbs because it's like dust and stuff, but it caught my attention because it was reflective, and I only saw it for like 2 seconds as we were driving across the bridge. So I zoom in on the orb, and as I'm zoomed in, the video obviously moves, and as it's moving, I noticed this thing come out of a bush. So I fucking record it and I send it straight to Sam and was like, Sam, oh my god, what is this? I felt like crying. That was pretty wild.
Speaking of yawning, neither one of us had really slept for like 2.5 weeks after this investigation.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was about.
Yeah.
Like, it was a constant fear of mine that something was like going to stand over my bed every night for 2.5 weeks.
I couldn't sit in my room with the lights off. Every night I would sit on my bed, and if I was on my phone, like scrolling on TikTok or something, I had my flashlight on so that I could see the rest of my room.
And that's not normal. Like, we've done investigations. We just haven't recorded them.
Yeah.
We've even been a part of investigation groups, and again, we haven't personally recorded them. This was the first time
we had went into it, just us.
Yeah.
This was our very first, like, we're going to investigate something.
So the bumps on the car, right? That was a big one, because that was physical. Not only did we hear it, but I felt it. Felt it. So it literally vibrated the right side of my seat.
The car moved.
It was crazy. And we felt the first one. That one was hard.
You can see us like
lock eyes.
I'm sitting there talking, and I'm
like, ain't no way.
Yeah. I was like, did she notice that?
Yeah.
Am I the only one that noticed that? Something definitely just hit the car.
Like, emotions were already heightened. It was already scary. It was dark. It was creepy. Like, we've heard things. She heard footsteps as we're outside and hesitated to tell me until after we got back in the car.
I thought she heard them.
So all this is going on. There's a really bad vibe. And now something's knocking on the fucking car. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So I did come home. I talked to my husband about it, and he was like, well, you should have investigated more. Right. Not doing that.
Fuck
no. I know that this is what we're doing. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. We had originally planned to go with like 3 other people. Things came up and all of us weren't able to go. And we ended up deciding that we were going to go on our own, and we went a day before we were supposed to. We get out there, and like I said before, in the middle of nowhere, we're 2 females in a car.
We did
that
intend,
has no tent on it, by the way.
We did intend to like get out. We wanted to do Estes methods. We wanted to like be outside of the vehicle. And not only feeling uncomfortable when we first got there, but then hearing the footsteps, we made the decision that it was okay, we're not.
I didn't even clean out my car. That's how much I thought we were gonna be outside doing this stuff.
But no, I came back home and I was talking to my husband about it, and this was like the big thing, right? We heard the 3 other knocks. She takes off, and my husband's a huge skeptic. So he immediately jumped to that we should have gotten out. We should have seen what could have hit it. Could it have been an acorn? No, it couldn't have. Because
I don't think an acorn's moving a car.
And that acorn would have had to like forcefully bounced up and down and been huge. Okay, bounced up and down and been huge. Okay, because
that's what I was That's what your mom does. She bounces up and down, and I got a huge wiener.
So knocking in 3s. We register and we feel the first knock, right? I then feel another one, and Chloe feels 3 full ones. And then as we're driving off, there's another really fast one, almost like somebody's running to hit the car.
Yeah, which is
it's gross.
Yeah.
But knocking in 3s. So when things group in 3s like that, it's usually, people will say it's kind of making fun of the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Which again can lean towards that whole demonic side. I still don't fully believe that it's, I don't know. The white figure really freaks me out. I don't know that I believe that it's a demonic entity there. I feel like there is a lot of,
I think that it, whatever it is bad.
Well, yeah. You had latched on to the fact of like demons like mimicking children and stuff, and there can still be children's spirits, right?
I don't know why an infant, a newborn would be, that would be terrible.
That would be terrible.
If an infant or a newborn was stuck.
But does that make that area even more uncomfortable because of such a bad tragedy and because it's stuck? But now I'm starting to lean kind of towards your theory.
I think that I don't know how I feel about demons, but everyone's definition of a demon, everyone's definition, I think that that's what that was. Like, I know people are like, oh, we visited this demonic place. Like, this was the Satanists lived here. I know. That sounds really fucking unlikely, right? Not everywhere everyone goes is demonic, right? I don't like this place. I wouldn't go back. Before all of this, I could have went up there and sat under a tree and read a book. Not anymore.
I feel like safety-wise, like I've just never felt that uncomfortable. I was latching onto the idea again with the KKK, and I've heard stories of Native Americans who drowned in the area, or slaves who drowned in the area trying to escape because there is it a river right over there? I think it's just the whole area is just full of heartache and tragedies. And so I was latching onto that, and that's why just like evilness.
Well,
right?
Yeah, for like the bad things that have happened there could have some leftover like residue, right? But like I was saying, even the KKK, when we thought that we were talking to someone that had to do with that, I don't think that it was someone that was a victim.
Yeah, right? No.
I think that it was the one doing the stuff.
At no point in time that we were at that bridge was it a good feeling. At no point in time. Not when we were talking anything, not when any, like, it was interesting when we first got there.
We were super excited.
I said, and I done fucked up with this, because I said, is there anything or and I meant anybody, but I said anything, which I've never done before, and that REM pod started lighting up like crazy.
And there was other times where we had asked questions that were like, really, I don't know, there was another time, I can't remember exactly when I was talking about John Hammond dude, and the EMF reader started going off. Don't know what that was about, because that story's not true, but
Yeah. Yeah, there is a story about a John Hammond. Crazy Tales. There's no proof to any of the stories, which I feel like if
I
there
did
was
a lot of research.
Yeah, I feel like if there was a hardcore serial killer doing all these awful things.
In such a small town as Hartselle, Alabama, there's a serial killer that has human skin nailed to his wall. And yeah, and keeps his wife in a sack and doesn't feed her.
Yeah.
And kills a whole bunch of people. I think that more than likely there would be some
like a news article.
Yeah, some sort of news article or maybe a show. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, there's no proof of him. There's no proof of those murders. There's no. They said that he went and lived the rest of his life after they caught him in a Georgia prison. No,
there's no record.
There's no record of the dude. I don't think that story's real.
Yeah.
Someone in Hartselle might know more about it than I do, but I did a lot of research on that, and I couldn't find anything on the dude.
So as we decide we're leaving the bridge, we pull up to the railroads, and this is where I think we both really thought that if we were going to get anything tonight, it was going to be here. I do want to go into the fact that this tragedy happened years ago, but it wasn't that long ago. Mm-hmm. There are still living relatives, immediate family who might come across this video, and this whole thing is done out of respect, and
we're not going to tell you that that your child is still there. I have no proof. We have no proof.
Yeah.
And we do this completely out of respect. We do as much research as we possibly can. None of the like the articles and everything that I read and found and we talked about at the time, none of that is made up. We were as factual as possible. I do think that the responses that we got when we mentioned family members' names.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was, I want to talk really quickly.
We've never had that happen before other than once.
I do want to touch on the fact that, as we're pulling up, all the cameras die.
All of them.
All of them.
Other than our phones.
Those die, right? So now we're recording off of our phones. Feelings completely shifted. So there's no more terror. Like, I'm uncomfortable. That was a lot back there. We're trying to digest. I think can even really tell in Chloe's demeanor when we get there. Like, she's just sad.
I felt almost safe, if that makes any sense. Like, I know Sam didn't feel that way.
I didn't feel bad. It was, again, we just gone through a lot.
The vibes were so different.
Yeah. Well, you said as we drove off, you were like, I'm just sad. Which is crazy because now that we went back and we looked at the footage, there is something that we didn't catch during the spirit box session.
Which
where
is so sad.
It's so sad. Where a girl says, stay. Are you about to cry?
I don't know. Sorry.
Where, we're talking about like, okay, we're going to start wrapping it up. Like, it's late. We're ready to leave. And it says stay. And I feel horrible that we missed that. Even the touching, right? Like, I've been, even in the same spot, right? Something has touched me before during an Estes method like this. And I believe during that, I was talking to my best friend. And so it wasn't that this was like a harmful touch. I didn't feel freaked out. It was, again, running off of the adrenaline from everything that had happened at the bridge. And now I'm being touched. And like, it's a lot. The siren noises.
That was crazy.
So we've never gotten that. And we switched from AM to FM radio multiple times.
We weren't just on FM. We weren't just on AM. At one point, she's like, I think that I hit a whole bunch of buttons while I was trying to turn it off. So I look at it, I'm like, oh, we're on AM. Then I switch it to FM, and it's even louder. It gets even stronger. And that was crazy.
Yeah.
And it was like, instantly I was like, these girls were found a mile from here. I wonder how many police officers, how many ambulances, how many fire trucks.
Which brings us to the blue lights, because what the fuck was that?
You don't see them in the video.
No. I don't know what it was. And again, maybe I'm imagining things, but it was like literally out of the corner of my eye, it looked like cop lights.
I didn't see flashing lights. I was really confused at the time, and I instantly was like, was there a train coming or something? I didn't see any flashing lights, just in general. and it was pitch black out there. If those like arms and the lights for the railroad track would have come on, I would have seen it. Like, there's no way that I would.
Again, it looked like a police car. Like the flashing lights when a cop is trying to pull you over. That's what it looked like. And I was like, oh, something like a cop followed us from over there. They want to see what we're doing. And then I really looked back and there was nothing there. I also want to go into things that we plan to do differently. This was our first investigation that we filmed. And we went in with like an actual purpose to catch all of this. So I think from here on out, and we would love any kind of recommendations, what you guys would like to see differently, what we could have done more respectfully, all of that kind of stuff. We intend, because I know at one point there was some confusion on some names when we were at the railroad crossing, and we did try to pull up our phones. There was really no service, and so we've decided no more phones.
Everything will be written down. And I had planned on printing out all of my notes that I had taken. I had an entire like Google like doc on this place, and I planned on printing it out, but because we had decided to go a day early, there was a lot of stuff that we didn't get to.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. This is Chloe.
This is Sam.
And we're signing out.